The proportion of the world's population identified as white and of European descent has shifted dramatically over time, reflecting changes in global demographics and the complexities of defining such a group. At its highest point around 1900, this population accounted for a substantial share of humanity, with estimates ranging from 1/3 to nearly 2/5 of the total. Today, in 2025, that share has decreased, with estimates varying widely due to differing interpretations of white and European descent. This article examines that decline, from its historical peak to current figures, and explores projections for when this population might constitute just 5% of the global total. It incorporates a spectrum of definitions, from the strictest to the broadest, to provide a comprehensive view of past trends and future possibilities. The peak in 1900. A range of 33% to 40%. Around the year 1900, the white population of European descent reached its largest proportional share of the world's inhabitants, a moment tied to Europe's demographic strength and global influence. The global population at that time stood at approximately 1.6 billion people. Within Europe, roughly 400 million individuals lived, their numbers boosted by advancements in agriculture and industry that improved living conditions and reduced death rates. Beyond Europe, communities of European descent had established themselves worldwide, notably in North America, where the United States counted about 76 million people, most of European origin, along with Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and smaller enclaves in regions like Southern Africa and Latin America. Together, these groups totaled between 550 million and 600 million individuals. This figure translates to a range of 34% to 38% of the world population, with 35% often cited as a reasonable average. However, some analyses suggest a slightly wider range of 33% to 40%, depending on how European descent is interpreted. Under a stricter definition, counting only those with unmixed European ancestry living in Europe or settler colonies, the percentage might lean toward 33%. A broader approach, which includes individuals with partial European heritage in places like Latin America, could push the estimate closer to 40%. This peak marked a unique period when Europe and its diaspora outpaced growth in other regions, before significant population increases elsewhere reshaped the global landscape. The present in 2025. Estimates spanning 6% to 16%. By March 2025, the world's population has grown to approximately 8.2 billion, and the share of those considered white and of European descent has decreased considerably. Estimates of their current numbers range from 500 million to 1.3 billion, yielding a percentage of 6% to 16%. This variation arises from differing methods of counting and defining the group, reflecting both statistical approaches and cultural or genetic criteria. A commonly accepted estimate places the population at around 1 billion, or 12% to 13% of the global total. This includes approximately 740 million people in Europe, spanning Western and Eastern Europe, Russia's European regions, and smaller nations, along with about 200 million individuals of European ancestry in North America, roughly 190 million non-Hispanic whites in the US and 25 million in Canada, plus 25 to 30 million in Australia, New Zealand, and scattered diaspora communities in places like South Africa and Argentina. This calculation assumes white refers to individuals who primarily trace their lineage to Europe and identify as such, aligning with data from sources like the United Nations and national censuses. However, a broader definition expands this figure to 1.15 billion to 1.3 billion, or 14% to 16%. This approach counts not only those who identify as white but also individuals with significant European ancestry, even if mixed with other backgrounds. For example, it might include 100 to 200 million people in Latin America, such as Brazil's 50 million who identify as white, plus others with European heritage who do not, along with some U.S. Hispanics of predominantly European origin. This wider lens reflects a more inclusive understanding of European descent, capturing genetic contributions rather than strict self-identification. On the narrower end, a stricter definition yields 750 million to 820 million, or 9% to 10%. This count focuses primarily on Europe's 740 million residents and a minimal diaspora, excluding those with mixed ancestry or those outside core European settled regions like North America and Oceania. It emphasizes unmixed European lineage and geographic concentration. The strictest interpretations produce even lower estimates, ranging from 500 million to 650 million, or 6% to 8%. These figures might limit the count to Western Europe alone, approximately 450 million, paired with a reduced tally in the US, e.g., 100 million, counting only those with no non-European ancestry, and minimal contributions elsewhere. Such estimates, while less common, appear in discussions that prioritize specific genetic markers, e.g., unmixed Northern European descent, or cultural purity over broader demographic trends. Though not mainstream, they highlight the lower boundary of possible calculations.